Scott, I'll pick up where you're left off there, and I want to touch back on what some of what Kevin and Ryan were talking to, because a lot of these topics, I'll admit, are hard to separate, right? Dispositions involves financing, so it's hard to kind of put a wedge between those and completely separate them. But Kevin, I think you touched on the idea that, this logical idea that people are always going to pay for the roof over their head before their storage asset. And there may be some merit to that, but let's take it one step further and look to Scott's point at the default rates. Simply put, people are more likely to default on the mortgage that provides a roof over their head, like this one here, than I am as a storage operator, statistically speaking, to default on a loan backed by my storage asset. If that doesn't tell you something about how secure the assets are and how hungry the banks are, I don't know what does. We'll touch more on that in just a minute. But Scott also brought up a great point, right? Well, let me go back. Ryan, you had mentioned Wall Street. Again, kind of bringing this idea that if you're already in the space, you're in a good position to go. But I'm speaking to the portion of the audience that is looking to get started investing. And for me, it's storage. The reason being, really, really smart people invest in this industry. Scott said it. He said, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. I'm going to throw Scott Myers in there. I'm going to throw Mike Wagner in there. Hey, guess what, Kevin? You're coming in with me too, brother, because you also invest in this space, my man. So that's all I have on the disposition side, aside from to share. I'll use this last minute just to give you a personal example. And I'm not pretending this is true 100% across the board, but it's the real life, my experience. I want to share it. I've taken 3 properties full circle, buying them for a couple $100,000, expanding, and then selling them off. The 3 that I've sold, I have sold for between $1 and $1.5 million in net profits. And I did all 3 without a broker. Didn't have to work very hard to sell them. I was approached by the buyers. They knocked on my door, which put me in a position of strength when I was negotiating. So I was selling properties over the last 3-4 years in tertiary markets at 7.5 and 8 caps, where mobile homes in these markets are going to be at 10, 11, 12 caps. So again, that's one example. I'm not pretending that's everything. My time is up, so I'm going to turn it back over to our handsome host, Alex Pardo.